And thank you very much. Thank you very much, our investors. Thank you very much, our partners. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to come the first full cycle, October 2025. That was the first full cycle coming from October 2024 to October 2025. And now from October 2025, we're targeting October 2026. Thank you very, very much for being there for us. And like Imole said earlier, being our very first farm visit for the year 2026, we are glad to have you see what the back end of all that remote agric is all about looks like. Yes, you are live at our farm, at Alakowe area. That's at Takumosa East or at Takumosa West, wherever you think it is, and also a border town between the Jesha land and the Ife land. All right. So thank you for staying tuned and thank you for joining us live on the farm. Thank you.
Yeah, okay, let's quickly do this. 2024 till date. So far, so good. What's the journey been like? Mudashiru, walk us through it.
Well, it would be out of place for me to try to do the walking through without bringing on board our able CEO. Chief Operations Officer cannot operate without the able CEO. My own little position, Oluda Mudashiru, Chief Operations Officer, Remote Agric.
Okay, let me even call the CEO himself.
Please
welcome Mr. Adedayo Adetiloye. Please, you are welcome, CEO, Remote Agric.
Thank you very much. I'm glad that we're having this today. We want to appreciate everyone in terms of what we have been doing since October 2024. It has been a journey, a great journey, an exciting journey. And today we are here for the live visit. I know you've been seeing my face, so don't worry, I will soon leave your face so that we can see the back end of the beautiful thing we are doing globally. Remote Agric is here to stay. It's not just feeding the nation. It's not just helping you to cultivate remotely. It's transforming the sector. What we are doing is transforming the sector. And today we are going to be opening up the back end for you. You are going to be seeing more. We are right at the section of the yam farm. You can see some activity at the background already. So I want to welcome you officially to the farm visit for 2026. And we are going to take you around. You will have opportunity to ask questions. But let me leave you with Imole Ayo and our able and capable and the person that is operating the back end of what we have as Remote Agric.
The backbone behind the back end. Thank you very much, CEO. So now back to the question I asked earlier. So far, so good. What has the journey been like?
Well, so far so good. The journey has been it's been interesting and challenging at the same time. It's been interesting and challenging at the same time. But because this is what we always loved doing, and well, it's not an escape ash, as I've always said. It's not something that we just saw, oh yeah, there's opportunity in the agricultural sector, let's just jump on it. It's more than that for us. I mean, for me, as an operations person, hands-on person, I've been in the sector working hands-on for almost about 20 years now. And so you can understand why I would say to you that it's been an interesting journey for us. Like I say to my people, I say it's tiring, but it's not stressful. So you get to find out why it can be tiring and it's not stressful. Right? I mean, it's for us, it's stress-free, but extremely tiring.
I love the fact that you went as far back as 20 years ago, so that people would know that this is not just something you decided within a few months to just bring up. This has been happening for over a decade, just like you said. Now we are on a particular section of the farm. This is these are heaps of yam. I would like you to really explain. People are watching us and well, they are seeing lines, they are seeing stakes, they are seeing eaves, and they are seeing workers working. What exactly is happening right here?
Well, most times there's always what you call the trade secret. But because you are with us and like the remote agric model is about, the remote agric model is very different from many of the agricultural investment models that people have been exposed to, or what you call the fintech, agri-tech, and all of those, hybrids that people have done in the past that have actually had to, whether I don't want to say fail or disappointed people. What we are doing is completely different, because what we are doing is we are aggregating farmers. All right. We are aggregating farmers. So basically, once you are with us, you are a farmer. Do you get it? So you are farming remotely. That is what it is. All right, that is what it is. So you are farming remotely, and that is why we can allow you to be on the field. I hope you understand that, and I want you to follow us for our partners anywhere in the world where you are watching from. We want you to actually have a full understanding, get a good grasp of what this whole thing is about. I remember in 2024, when we started, some people kept on asking the question around insurance. And I told them, I said, see, for us, because we have been used to this, we have been doing this almost, year in, year out. All right. I mean, if you are a pilot and you have flew for more than 10,000 hours, you can easily become a captain. So in the academia, it's easier to become a professor when you have done some hours of. So for us too, if you want to give us that accolade, we will take it. So we said it to you then that for us, yes. In fact, that's why this particular 2025-2026 cycle, our CEO and the admin guys insisted, that for the back end guys, we have added insurance. I said, well, whatever you guys do on the front end is your business. But for us, our own insurance is the agronomy, the practice, the things we do that guarantees that, this operation is successful. And so what you are looking at today is what we have devised as our means of getting the job done. Normally, you can see we've done the planting, especially this particular field where you are. We've done this planting since last year. We started planting here in October. If you can, I don't know if the camera can pick that. Somewhere there, just on that very heap. I'll try and go there. You can see this is germination. That is yam already coming out. Germination, all right? So you can see that. Now, we started planting in October, and now when it came to the very hot season of the year, we did what you call, this is mulching. We had to mulch the whole farm. So no, just if you want to come, that's fine. So that people can actually see what we are talking about. This is germination. You can see that's yam coming out. All right. Now, that's why I could tell you about the agronomy. I could tell you about the practice. Now, see, this is mulching. All right. This was done sometimes earlier in the year. Sometimes we did this, we started mulching because we had the whole expanse is huge that we had to mulch. So we started mulching sometimes around January, and we probably didn't even finish mulching until around maybe end of February thereabout. All right. So, or even first or second week in March, because mulching must be done. It's very important. I mean, I don't know if I would have all the time to be able to explain why those things are necessary, especially as part of the agronomy practice for the cultivation of yam. Mulching, because the yam seed or the yam set would go into a period of dormancy. All right. So when we plant, we started planting in October 2025. Now we are in April 2026. So if as of April 2026, you can only see this small growth. So when did this possibly start? This growth possibly started when the first rain started. Now, at that point, if the heap had not been properly mulched, the yam may not get the moisture. So this will do two things. The mulching would have done two things for the yam. Now, at the period of the year when there was no rain, the yam seed was supposed to go into dormancy. It was supposed to be, basically what we did was not actually, we have not activated. We only kept that yam seed in the heap. Now, putting the mulching on it will make sure that the heat during the very hot period of the year, the heat does not go to touch the seed.
So this will absorb the heat.
It would make sure, it will help the heap not to get hot. If it gets hot, what happens is the yam seed will get rotten. So to avoid that rotting, of course, it's still going to rotten. That's the interesting part. But that's another part of it. Now it's still going to rot, because if it does not rot, it probably will not give you what you want. Now, but you want to make sure that you are able to control the time frame between germination and that rot. You want to be sure that it has started budding, the shoots and the roots.
So you're not relying on luck. You are
no. Process. This is not luck. This is science. This is science. There are certain aspects of our operation that is absolutely scientific. You do it as you should do it, you get the result you are supposed to get. It's as simple as that. All right. So, like I would always say to our team, that this is not forex. We are not FX farmer. We are not FX farmer. So, if at some point we are supposed to help you sell your produce and we have not been able to sell, so we have not been able to send your money, just know that we are not FX farmers. We are not farmers that you send money to. We are not the kind of operations. I mean, I'm managing your farm for you, right? That's what it is. So, and I'm not an operations guy who you will tell, yeah, buy seed, and I will now go and use your money to buy Bitcoin or any other of the cryptos. And then I'll tell you when it's time for us to sell yam, I will now start giving you all sort of gist. No, it's not about gist. It's about doing the work and doing it well. And that's why we are going to be able to explain to you what you are seeing. Because you are seeing stuff happening right now. We would explain all of that to you. And for some of you who already know, some of you are from agricultural oriented communities and society, but you decided to move with urbanization. And you are now in urban spaces where you can no longer practice what you loved as a child. You can still see it's all of those things that you did as a young child that your parents forced you to do, even when you did not understand why, that we are still doing. We are still continuing it. So we made the heap, we planted the yam, we did the mulching. After mulching, what next? Of course, when we were done mulching, what we did was to weed the farm. We did the weeding, and that's why you can see almost everywhere is clean. That must be done before the first rain. Now, I would have loved that the camera can pan in the direction of places where there is no yam and where they have not done any weeding, so that they can see the contrast. Now, imagine that we did not do our work as at when we were supposed to do it. Look at that. That is the boundary of our farm and the next yard. All right. See how, look at it. All right. So that you will know this place would have also been like that. All right. So basically, we did the heap, we planted the yam, we did the mulching, we weeded the farm, and you can see it's clean. Now, the next thing we should do is what we are seeing my guys doing. And we have to wait for the rain, because this is also very important. Staking. Years before, we would do staking before the rain. It was a lot of work. But because of the expansion in our operation, we have expanded the operation. Now, I'm already, trying to make our CEO agree with me that we should go to 100,000 units. Yes. That we should go to 100,000 units. So yes, opportunities are still available. You talk to the CEO, talk to the marketing guys, talk to the team, because you have been with us in these now more than a year, and you have seen it. We are not okay, so you have seen it, so that we can grow this thing together. We can grow it fast enough. All right. So that's by the way. So you can look at that. So we are now staking. And now you're wondering what kind of staking method we are using.
Exactly.
What kind of staking?
Before we go to staking now, you rightly mentioned some things, and I would want some clarifications. You said remote agric is different from all these FX guys, the agritech, those that will tell you, don't worry, invest this amount, and in 3 months you get your ROI of 50% or 10%.
We are different.
I want you to exactly is the
we are farmer.
Exactly.
We are purely farmer. This is I wish the camera can see. Look at the hand very well. We are farmers. There's no two ways about it. All right. Look at the palm. If you look at that palm very well, you understand what we are talking about. All right. This is not a hair. We don't use glove. It's pure. It's real. So we are farmers. So whatever is it we are telling you is we have decided to now bring innovation into it. Let's talk about it. Let's improve on it. It's a different thing when people are talking about opportunities within the agri sector, and guys are trying to just use tech. They are just trying to use fintech to take advantage of those opportunities without actually understanding the nitty-gritty of agricultural production. For us, I can say it confidently that we have gained the mastery of food crop production. All right. And so we would still get there so that you understand what and why we are doing what we are doing, and how, in fact, what led us to staking the way we have decided to stake, because this is completely different from what you would have seen as a conventional staking method. All right.
Let's talk about this current farming season, October 2025, which is currently ongoing, right?
Yeah.
Can people still subscribe to this, or it has closed for now?
Well, I am sure the decision to either close being a part of what we are doing or not being a part of it, yes, it's like if I've followed very well, because oftentimes I'm sure I'm not. In fact, you guys are better than me when in following up with updates, on our platforms and every other social media marketing spaces where we operate from. I'm sure I've seen publications, I've seen correspondence showing that maybe till this weekend, all right, that till this weekend. But like I said to you, that since the team came, I've been challenging them that come. I mean, it's fun, it's tiring, but it's not stressful. So let's jack it up. Let's jack it up. So because we desire to jack it up, so I'm sure if you are still very much interested, or people who are interested, get them on board, let them talk to us, let them contact our team, let them discuss. In fact, as he speaks right now, we are working towards having corporate investors or corporate partners, all right, corporate farmers, all right, so that it's not just individual farmers alone. We are looking at bringing on board as many people who believe in solving the food need, the food security problem that we have in Africa. I mean, look at it. Like I've always said, uncultivated land, look at how green it is. Uncultivated land, look at how green it is. So how much more when the right people who are doing the job, okay, are empowered to continue doing it. What happens when you become an enabler for guaranteeing food security in Africa? It should give you joy. It should give you, the pride of the fact that I am now a farmer helping to solve the food security problem.
Wherever you are watching us from, once again, we say good morning. And if you have any question, this is Remote Agric Farm Visit 2026. You have any question, please, you can drop your questions via Zoom, we will definitely attend to them. So far, so good. We've been speaking with Oludare Mudashiro. Now, the next question I would like to ask is: we've been to different places this morning, different sections on the farmland,
yeah.
and I would like to ask you, what is the current capacity of this yam farm?
Well, the current capacity of the yam farm as we speak, well, okay, let me release a bit of that, okay, because this is where it becomes a bit technical, all right, and this is where we try to give you the guarantee so that people will say, how are they doing it? What exactly are these guys doing? They are saying to us that they are not FX farmer, and they are able to do this. They are able to guarantee that. Now, at the current state, we have a target of 50,000 units of sales for the yam cultivation for the year. Currently, I'm sure the feedback I got is that the sales is now at about, I want to be very sure. I think the sales is now at about 20,000 units. All right. And our production target is actually 50,000 units. Now, what we currently have on the farm, and you have seen, I'm not sure, I don't know because I wasn't there, whether you did the recording of those sections.
We did.
Okay, so if you have done the recording of those sessions, people can see the recording of those sessions. I'm sure on the field right now, we don't have less than 20,000 units already.
Already standing now.
Yes, we don't have less than 20,000 units. We don't have less, and the reason for that, of course. I mean, our team have been to some of the other places where we have access to, we have access to over 300 acres of land. So it's the right partnership that can help us to colonize that expanse. It's the right partnership. Having the right set of farmers coming on board, because for us, you guys are also farmers. So don't see yourself as no. You are farmers, because our model is to make sure that we have as many farmers as possible. I'm telling you, you can say it with pride anywhere. Whether you are in the United States, whether you are in the United Kingdom, whether you are even in one of the most urbanized settlements, tell them that you are a farmer confidently, because somewhere in Nigeria, somewhere in the Southwest, somewhere in Osun State, your farm is being managed for you. Just know that for a fact.
Thank you very much. You can be a farmer. That is what Mudashiro is saying, even without any restriction. You don't have to tell us you don't have a piece of land to farm. You don't have to tell us your neighbors will not agree. Just come to our remote Agric, and definitely your prayers are answered. So, Mudashiro, let's quickly take a look at the settings we have here right now, because this is new. I would say this is new. I don't know if the listeners, the followers right now, maybe they've seen this before. We have sticks going into the ground. We have lines moving across the sticks. Please, would you explain what exactly is happening and the purpose exactly?
All right.
Is it just for aesthetics?
No, this is not for aesthetics. Like I said to you, with every business, there's what you call the trade secret. And because you are our partner, and that's what we are trying to let you understand right now. So that everything we say, you know that we mean it. We want you on board as our partner. We want you on board as a farmer. We want you on board knowing everything that you are supposed to know, especially with the current challenges. You have climate change issues. People are talking now about smart agriculture, smart farming. People are talking about techniques and terminologies that sometimes looks to us as if they are alien. Then again, but for us at Remote Agri, we will talk about sustainability before profitability. So, because what you have done is you have saddled us with the responsibility of making sure that your own piece of farmland is profitable. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you have saddled us with that responsibility. Let me quickly give you a hint of what happened in 2025 when the yam harvest started. Now, when the yam harvest started last year, the prices of yam tubers actually fell, went down, far away from the projected price. All right. I mean, look at the year in, year out inflation rate. head-on-head inflation, month by month, food basket inflation, and blah, blah, blah. You look at all of that, find out that, yes, truly there's inflation. The inflation was not caused by too much of the, what do you call inflation? Maybe, what actually happened last year was that disposable income shrunk. People didn't have that much to buy. So because they really didn't have that much to buy, and produce had already been, produced from the farm. So these are perishable. The market will determine the price. Now you have the market being flooded with the produce, and there's no money. So what happened? The prices went down. Now, because the prices went down, we had our projection that we had already encouraged our farmers with, that let's farm together. If we are able to farm together at this current price in 2024, we are projecting that by 2025, when we will come to the harvest of 2025 yam, we should have, the prices of tuber should have been able to get to at. But unfortunately, the prices went down. But guess what we did at Remote Agric? We didn't go back to the farmers, our partners, to say, oh, sorry, because the prices of yam came way down below the expected. In fact, it went, if I tell you, it was interesting that the prices of the tuber almost went to the price of the investment, the cost of production. But guess what we did? Because, like I said, our own insurance is in our practice, farming practices. Our insurance is not in FX. Our insurance is in actually farming. So what we did was, we have always anticipated that. So we're able to use other produce. We're able to use other, produce from the field to supplement and bring the returns back to the farmer. So from this same field where the yam is planted, we are going to put in other things to serve as shock absorber. So if we tell you that you should partner with us, you should understand why we can say this with pride. That partnering with us, you becoming a farmer through us, is the surest thing for you. Now, back to the question. I said that to now bring you to why you are seeing this style of staking. And I can explain it details for details.
And
now,
for those on the group page, there are some media files being dropped, pictures and videos. You would see some sections of the farm, and you would see really those other crops supporting the yam.
Okay, so you're already
exactly.
All right. So you can see, as we speak right now, we have nurseries of different crops, that we are targeting the market with at commercial volume. There are some that we've already planted directly seed. We've been, just charged the land already. There are some that has to be transplanted, and they are currently on the nursery stage. I'm sure, like you rightly said now, so I would know that you've actually covered the nursery section. Now, at the nursery section, we have, okay, maybe I shouldn't let the cat out of the bag yet, but I shouldn't let the cat out of the bag. So, but we have the nursery sections taking care of so many things. And like I said, guys, please get on board. Remote Agric is the next big thing in Africa. Partner with us, call the lines, call the numbers. I'm sure if there's anything my CEO knows how to do best, is to talk with you and explain to you exactly the nitty-gritty of what it is administratively. For us, for me, Oluda Remudashiru, you talk to me about the farm. I'm glad to do that. In fact, the other side is, you have a big project that you're looking at establishing. Remote Agric is ready to partner with you to help you establish the farm and make sure that the farm is actually operationally sustainable and ultimately profitable. That is
very key.
Sustainability and profitability. those two are important to us in our methodology, in our operational methodology, sustainability and profitability. Now,
so when it comes to consultancy, you don't just do that from a distance.
No. We do our consultancies based on your own objectives. What are your objectives? What are your expected outcomes? Why do you want to do the project? So we want to really get to know your mind.
We'll get to consultancy
all
later.
Right.
Let's quickly finish up.
So with this, all right. So like what you are seeing right now, if I can have the camera move in the direction so that you can come a bit closer and then see what it's about. Now you see the staking method, all right. The staking method. Normally, what you would have in typical yam farm is that people would just normally, sometimes people will use bamboo. They will use very strong stake and or sticks, and then do the staking. And sometimes they will do 1 for 2, 1 for 2, 1 for 2, 1 for 2. Sometimes they do it in clusters. And once that is done, the yam, the germination is vertical. All right, it's vertical. It goes. And you see the whole place is just, packed. What you see is that field becomes less useful for us. It becomes less useful. It's the level of competition there. You can't do too much of mixed cropping. You can't do high level yield mixed cropping, so that you would understand that when I really break it down. But with this type of staking that we have done, all right, instead of the vine of the yam going up and then branching in every way that it will block solarization, because it's the energy from the sun that the plant needs. It's the energy from the sun that the plant uses. Now, once you cover it, once there's an umbrella, that umbrella makes it difficult for anything else underneath to thrive. Now, what we have now done by devising this methodology for our yam staking is that once this yam sprouts, it's going to come on the line, and they have 3 levels. This is now horizontal. It's no longer vertical. So the vines will not be going up in manner that it will go and form umbrella and then cover the whole space and make the land useless other than just for the yam. But because we understand that it's important for us to ensure that our farmers engage in profitable venture. Should the price of the yam drop again in the market, we will not come back to our farmers and say, oh, sorry, your cost of operation and the cost and the current price, they are actually at loggerhead, and because they are now at loggerhead, there is a battle happening, or there is a war between the cost of operation and the price of the produce. So it seems, and then stories and stories and stories and stories and stories. So because of that, we have decided to redesign our field to accommodate other high yield complementary crops, which we have actually seen, that we have already prepared for by having them, prepared on the nursery. So as it is, the yam is expected to sprout from here, and it's already been conditioned. All right. So it branches and go on the line. It branches again, goes on the line. Branches again, comes on the line. And I mean, it's the maintenance, post-emergence maintenance of the farm is easier. Once the yam is up, and we need to maintain either for weeding, either for treatment, either for harvesting of other produce, you know what to do. All right. And that is what this is about. Now, on this side, another crop is coming.
On the same heap.
On the same heap. On this side, another crop is coming. On this side, another crop is coming. On this side, another crop is coming. So that this heap, as it is, can give us the maximum yield that will guarantee the returns on the expected costs of operations. Because I am always very intentional about saying that it's, for me, it's not returns on investment. All right. It's not returns on investment because you are a farmer. All right. It's to make sure that
it's the operational cost.
Yes. All right. It's to make sure that profitability is guaranteed, and then you are able to get a difference between the cost of operation. So if we are broken it down for you to say for the so unit of operation, for the so unit of cost that you have incurred, so amount is used for making the heap, mind you. So amount is used for clearing the land. So amount is used for making the heap. So amount is used for securing the seed. So amount is used for planting. So amount is used for mulching. So amount is used for the first year clearing, which you have seen. So amount is used for staking. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So you know that this unit price for your cost of operation that has been calculated, for which you have now purchased, is also being thought out to be sure that that cost yields the returns that guarantees sustainability. Meaning that you can be in this farming business for the next 10 years, for the next 15 years, for the next 20 years. You can even, transfer it to the next generation to let them know that this is how we have done farming. If I can tell you today that I'm glad to celebrate near 20 years of operations in food crop production. Food crop. And I'm particular every time I speak. People say, why are you always particular about food crop? I say, see, I know cash crop. Cash crop for me is a given. But food crop is where the problem is. Food crop is where the problem is. It's not everybody that is looking at. It's not everybody that is looking at. Tree crops are easier to deal with. Tree crops are easier. They are the easiest to deal with. But food crop is the most challenging because the competition between weed and food crop is high. But the competition between weed and tree crops, very minimal. Once the trees can show face, once they can just, all right, it's easier. It's easier. So, but the most difficult is food crop. And that's why we are glad to position ourselves. We are glad that we positioned ourselves earlier enough. And we are glad that we have gained that mastery. And we can talk about that mastery. We can break it down for you, even to a unit basis. And people have asked us, why are you so particular about yam? Why have you? And I said to them, I said, for us, we sat back, did the research before we decided to come up with our product. Very soon, you will still have the opportunity to farm other produce. But like I said, let us make it sustainable long enough for a start by using yam. And because of the resilience, I mean, tuber crops are extremely resilient. And as bad as the price went last year, it was still good for us to have yam. I mean, prices of maize had plummeted in the last 3 years. The prices of maize, from the window that the government gave for the importation of grains, all right, affected the prices of maize, for example. It plummeted, all right, it plummeted. So As we speak right now, yam, potatoes, cassava, the tuber crops are good enough in ensuring a guarantee for our farmers.
Thank you, Oludare Mudachiri. Well, so far so good. In the course of this session, we have talked about so many things. In fact, most recently, Oludare Mudachiri just talked about land management, even in farming. You know, just a heap can have at least 5 different crops, and one will not disturb the other. And that is why this process is going on currently. Well, let me welcome on board the CEO Remote Agric, Mr. Adedayo Adetiloye.
Thank you very much.
I'm sure you might have some additions to all Mudachiro has been saying since.
Okay.
There you go.
Basically, I want to talk about the money part. I had when he was talking about the 100,000 unit capacity and all that. So this is what we have been saying, that what we are trying to build is something that is large enough, big enough for you to come in. You are there, you've been thinking of, let me watch these people for a while. Now, since 2024 October, you can count how many months now. Runs into months. So you want to look at it. How many cycles are we talking about here? We've done October to October, which was our first cycle. We did February to February, another October to October. So currently the one he talked that is ending this weekend is February 2026 to February 2027. And this opportunity is still available. And that's the reason why we are bringing the farm to your home. We are watching us live from the Opalakowe community of Ile-Ife City in Osun State, Nigeria, West Africa, and Africa. So what we are doing here is feeding the nation. We are positioned in such a way that very soon we are going to be exporting our products to other countries. Our license for exportation is almost ready. Once it's ready, we'll share it in the WhatsApp group as well. Everybody will also rejoice, but we are doing it. It's not just we are saying it, we are also doing it. So very soon, we are positioned to export our yam to other parts of the world, UK, US, Germany. Talk of any of these countries that we have a lot of our people that want to eat yam. Now, the beauty of it is that before you even think about taking it outside, do you know that inside, even within Osun State, talk less of Lagos State, people are looking for yam to buy.
Quality one, quality.
Quality yam.
Quality.
Even the one that is not quality, it's still scarce. How much more the quality yam? I know that you know how much they sell yam in your major market across Nigeria, wherever you're watching us from. You know that if an entity has decided to go back to the farm with their years of experience in both corporate world and all around the world, and they've come to solve this problem. It's because of this problem of food insecurity in Africa that we are doing this. And you've seen all the operational insurance dimension that has been discussed so far. These are trade secrets. We are just sharing a bit. Don't say you know everything. We are sharing just a bit. So there we have more. We have more. Research is going on every day. If you watch the few clips on the WhatsApp group, you will see some of the sack farm that we
don't go there. Don't go
capture.
Don't go there. Don't go there.
You will talk more about that.
So let me quickly ask you about the business of Remote Agric, because while talking just now, you mentioned the export part.
Why are you interested in our export secret?
It is not about the secret. I want you to know now, for consumption and for the business part, is Remote Agric ready to handle all this? And please tell me your projection, because this is new to me. And we've been together. I didn't know there was a plan like this. Walk us through it. Is it just for consumption or even for a large scale business?
All right. So the agriculture as a whole is a huge industry, and every player comes at different levels and different layers of the economy. So let's pick yam value chain. Yam value chain is something that you can come in at different levels. Some of us we've eaten maybe during the week a pondo yam, for example. You can't have a pondo yam without having the yam. So that means no matter who is putting together the big infrastructure, the machines for processing, we depend heavily on the production, on the growing, on the cultivating of that yam and things like that. And do you know what? We're still coming there. Still coming to, to that space of the value chain. But now we are focusing on the most important aspect, which is having the master of the production, the farming side, which the one you call farming, you know.
Which everybody is always avoiding.
In fact,
But it's the most difficult.
that is the most difficult. People don't want to do it because look at us, we are on farm now. Some people are under the share in their factory. They are expecting this thing to germinate and grow so that they can pull it to the factory and start their own work. And if this is not available,
They have nothing to do.
once they don't see it in Nigeria, they will go outside Nigeria.
Yeah.
So why are you? So this is an opportunity. And it's an opportunity that is so big that you need the partnership of our people watching this to grow this. All these things we are seeing now is money. It's money that puts it together. It's money that brought the seedlings. It's money that is weeding it. It's money that is mushing it. It's money that will harvest it. It's money that will transport it. So all the costs has been broken down. Currently, you can join us for 1,700
For the
for this
February
weekend.
2026.
For this is closing this weekend. When we started in October 2024, it wasn't 1,700. And this weekend is closing at 1,700.
This weekend is closing at 1,700.
Yes.
So by the next week, it can start again at 1,750.
It can move to another level. It can move to another level entirely. So it is something that you need to really, if you are there, you have been considering, let me partner with these people. You can still partner with us with 1,700 per unit. When we say unit, this is what we mean by unit. One heap of the yam farm is 1 unit, and you can partner with us with 1,700. So after this weekend, it could be, in fact, it will be reviewed. So it's better you just call us now.
Or you can book, even if your money is not available right now.
Okay.
You can book this weekend.
Yes.
If your booking comes in this weekend, we'll take it as part of the weekend sale.
Exactly. So let your booking come in this weekend. This weekend is open because of this farm visit. Farm visit is a major event in remote Agric.
Yes, so
we open it up
yes,
for a lot of opportunities, and this is one of the opportunities you are getting. You can get it 1,700 for this weekend. After this weekend, it will be reviewed, and from there we can push it to the next level.
Are there limits to the units you can get? Okay,
so currently you can do 5,000 units. So you just multiply 5,000 units, multiply by 1,700. So you can do for yourself, do for your wife, do for your children, as the case may be.
Or you can do as a company.
Great. So,
yes, you can do as a company so that you can be an institutional partner. You can be an institutional farmer.
So at that level, if you're coming as a company, it has no seal. It's just based on your capacity and your objective, just like we have mentioned before. So you can come in and say, guys, I want to do all the 100,000 units. I want to do it in 3 places. So you can decide to do that, and we'll prepare the corporate documents and everything, and we'll get to continue to push this and make this thing available. The major thing is that we are solving the food insecurity problem in Africa, starting with own a yam farm remotely. We've done our first outing, projected 10,000 units. The second projected 50,000, and currently we are pushing to 100,000 units.
So thank you very much. That was the CEO remote Agric. Now let me quickly come back to our farm manager right here. Let's look at the height of this hill.
Yeah.
Is this deliberate?
Well, originally it was higher than this. And if you look, and for some other section of the farm, I'm sure you saw something much bigger, something much higher. Now, that has to do sometimes with the texture of the land. Technically, this particular part of the land, if you look at it from where we are, it's somewhat hilly. It's a bit higher than the other part of the farm. So those other parts seems to be the valley part of the farm. So this part was a bit hard to make those. This is not our typical hip sizes, all right? But having said that, it also does not mean that the size of tubers that will come from here, because the hip is a bit smaller, does not necessarily mean that the sizes of yam that will come from here will be smaller than the sizes of yam that will come from the other side. Now, the logic of having the big hips, sometimes it can be used intentionally to manage the agronomy, because we do the dry season planting. What do we mean by the dry season planting? Like in the middle belt, for example, particularly a state like Benue, they don't plant October to October. They would wait for the rain to come before they plant. But for us in the Southwest, we plant towards the latter part of the year. We start planting anytime from around October. And for the smart farmers, once they start planting in October, they keep planting till they are done planting as much as they want to plant. I know why I've said that. There are some farmers that will tell you that you can only plant in October and stop planting. But for us, once we start planting, we keep planting till we are done planting the targets that we want to plant. Meaning that we plant in October, we plant in November, we plant in December, we plant in January, we just keep planting. We know how to do what we do. Now, because the hip sizes here are not as big as the other places, this was the first place we planted.
Okay.
Production secret, trade secret, you call it, we release it to you. You are our partner. These were the first ones we planted. And you can see, look at it. This is germination. I've shown you, and they're already germinating. Now, why did we plant this place earlier? I told you about the fact that the land here is the texture is different. All right. I told you about the fact that the hips were initially bigger, but now they've withered. Now, the temperature at the peak of the year when the heat was high, here it would have been higher. So planting it earlier before the rain stopped helped the yam. So the yam did not get hot to a point that it starts rotting. By the time you come back, I'm sure by the time the media guys will come back, I can guarantee that almost all the yam here would have germinated, would have sprouted, because we knew how we did it. So that's why I'm trying to explain that sometimes when you have the big hips, it's not because it's sometimes also to protect the integrity of the seed, the yam seed or the yam set. And there are sometimes if you can make the hip big enough, you may not need to mulch. You may mark it. You may not need to mulch. I didn't say you should. You may not need. So you need to understand why and how.
For those that invested in October, you said these were planted in October.
Oh yes, they were planted in October.
What is the harvest time for this?
For us at Remote Agric, our projection is always to do October to October. We don't often like to harvest our yam before October. We like now, and you ask us why. Now, by October, it is expected that the rains would have come to almost like a you are coming to the end of the raining season, latest by November, thereabout. So we always want our tubers to maximize the rain. Our yam has been planted since October, right? So the first rain this year met our yam in the, and we always try to make sure that closer to the later part of the year too, the last set of rains too, will meet this, because you see that water from around July, where you have, constant, that is when the yam start producing. Because yam likes water when it's already coming to production time. And with much of that, it can reach maximum maturity. And because we always, you heard me when I was talking about the quality of the yam, we always like to have those big tubers. And so big tubers, enough rain guarantees big tubers. And
before we end this session, if there will be a message for our followers right now, what would it be from you?
My message for our followers, anybody watching this video, whether the recorded or you are watching live, is that make effort to partner with us to expand this operation. Make effort, just make effort, so that we can grow together. Because growing together gives you premium value at the end of the day.
Thank you so much for joining us so far, so good. Well, this is, as I said earlier, the first farm visit for the year 2026. And yes, subscriptions are still open. You can still come on board. 10 units, 50 units, 100 units, even 1,000 units or more than that, you are welcome. And your questions will definitely be answered. You can keep dropping your messages either via Zoom or on our WhatsApp pages. Imoliayo is my name, and I'm buying out for now. I say good afternoon once again. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone that joined us on this call today. Thank you, Mommy Folashade. Thank you, Joy. Thank you, Marvelous. Thank you, Ola Nyoju. We will go around the farm now, but this time around, we are going to be doing video capturing, and we'll be dropping it on the WhatsApp group so that you can follow as we move around the farm. You can imagine 20,000 hips already planted, so everything cannot be in the same location. If you have any question, you can always let us know now that we are still live, and afterwards we will end the live streaming. Then we will begin to do capturing around the farm and drop the pictures and videos on the WhatsApp group. Do anybody have any question? Maybe technical question you want to ask the farm, the operations on the farm, or you have any question around the uh, other aspect of your partnership with us and things like that. If you have any of those questions, you can let us know now. And if there is none, we'll be glad to close the live streaming now while we focus on capturing other aspects of the farm. Thank you very much. We appreciate you all. So I will just give like 2 minutes for question. If there is none, we'll end the live stream.